Hello. So this is your balance workout. If you take a look at my Fit Snippet 5, it'll just give you a little introduction to why it's important to do balance. I'm standing with my feet hip width apart. I'm just going to roll the shoulders back and down, and I'm just going to do alternate knee raises. Balance is about keeping your pelvis steady, keeping your hip bones level. So really try to do that. Don't slouch into the opposite hip. Now we're going to hold that left knee up and just extend the leg and open the arms. Try not to lean backwards, bend the knee and then come down. So we'll try that on the other side. Again, making sure you don't slouch into the hip, keeping the movements nice and smooth. I always say nice and, but I'm not the only one that's guilty of that, I'm sure. Keep breathing. Try not to tense your shoulders. Keeping your shoulders relaxed but back and down will really help with balance. Lovely. Now let's try and lift the heels and raise the arms. Softening the knees slightly as you land. Keeping the tummy in, keeping the shoulders down. Breathe with it. Good. So strengthening through the ankle joint. Can you hold the balance this time? Just hold the lift. And we're going to rotate the upper body to the left, back to centre and down. Don't turn your hips when you do this. Keep your pelvis facing forwards. Change sides. So we'll just do one more each side, but just keep breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. You don't have to lift your heels off the floor far. Breathe in, breathe out. One more to the right. So you're just getting that movement at the waist. Let's go back to the knee raisers. And this time, this is the left knee, we're going to rotate the upper body to the left. So not turning your pelvis, back to centre and down. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So stand tall through the left hip. Don't turn the pelvis. So remember, it's about keeping your pelvis stable. Keep your shoulders relaxed and keep the breath flowing. That's it. So the hips, the hip bones, stay facing the front. Do one more each side, but as you rotate, can you extend the leg like we did earlier? So making it harder, obviously. Try not to lean backwards, keep your tummy in. Keeping your tummy in will help you anchor your pelvis. It'll help you keep your pelvis steady. Lovely. Bring the heels together and we're just going to step out to the left and just tilt over to the left from the waist. Bring it back to centre, step in. Let's do that the other way. So keep your hips still and keep your legs still when you do this. It's just the upper body moving. Now it is a balance because your body's off centre, but if you want to make it harder, lift your heels just before you tilt. Try and hold that balance, keep your tummy in, replace your heels and come in. Let's try that the other side. So if lifting the heels is too difficult, that's fine. Replace them before you come in. You don't have to do the heel lift. Make sure you're not shrugging the shoulders. And last one. So I'm lifting the heels. I'm keeping the pelvis steady. I've got the tummy muscles tight. Separate the heels. Just give the legs a shake. I'm going to turn to the side now. Stepping forward with the left leg, sweeping the arms up, lifting the right leg behind, squeezing my bottom on the right. Step back, step in, change sides. So sweep the arms up by the ears. The next one we're just going to try and hold it. So keep your pelvis facing forwards, don't twist. Can you go a little further, a bit like a seesaw? As your leg lifts, your upper body goes lower. So they both work together. Bringing it back and step back and change legs. Keep your tummy in, try and keep your pelvis steady. Squeezing your bum on that lifted leg at the back. Bringing it more horizontal, breathe. Make sure you don't twist your hips to one side. And let's do one more, and we're just going to add something here. So the leg you're standing on, the knee is bent, but don't slouch into that hip. So from here, this is difficult. Can you bring your knee in without moving your hips? Touch your knee, take it back out, keep the shoulders back, step back, change legs. Last one. So come into your seesaw. You don't have to come horizontal. Make sure you don't shrug your shoulders or twist the hips. Keep your tummy in, move smoothly. So you brought the knee in, you touch the knee, and then you step back and lower it. Roll the shoulders back, lovely. Next to chair squat, feet hip width. We're just going to bend the knees and sit down behind you, keeping your tummy in and your shoulders back. Try and keep the knees behind the toes. And when you come up, lift the heels. Taking the arms behind to work your triceps. So into your chair squat. At this point you should feel the body weight going into your heels. So just check that you can lift the balls of your feet. Feel the weight going into the heels there. And the weight goes into the balls of the feet there. Just one more. Tummy in tight. Breathe in. And breathe out. Lovely. And release. And give the legs a shake. If you just step your feet slightly wider than your hips, turning out the knees and toes. Bend the knees again. Take the right leg out to the side and the arms to shoulder height. Bend the knees so you're symmetrical and lift the leg out to the side, keeping the shoulders down. A stable pelvis anchored by your abs helps you balance. And if you tense the shoulders, we tend to lose our balance, see? So keep the shoulders in place but nice and relaxed. Lovely, keep that breath flowing. Last one. Okay, let's make it a bit harder. So, into your squat in the middle, hold the lift now. Can you bring the knee across and just touch it lightly? Keep the pelvis steady, back out, and then back into your squat. So lift, keep the shoulders relaxed, keep the pelvis steady. So don't move your hips as the knee comes across. Keep the movements flowing. A couple more of those. Don't worry if you struggle or if you have to put your foot down. Just practice this little routine every few days and you'll find your balance does improve. Really focus on keeping your pelvis steady, not wobbling your hips around, so keep your tummy in. Lovely, and let's bring it back into the squat and we'll zigzag the feet in, give the legs a little shake, a couple of shoulder rolls. Very nice. Let's go back to the knee raisers. Stand tall through that right hip as the left knee comes up. And vice versa, stand tall through the left hip as the right knee comes up. This time we're going to hold the lift. This is difficult. And I'm going to keep my tummy in and keep my hip bones level and just lift that right heel off the floor and lower it. I'm going to try and do that 3 times without losing my balance, keeping my knee soft on the right. That second one was a bit quick. I'm going to try and make it a really good third one. Breathing through it and not shrugging my shoulders. Bringing it down. Let's try the other side. If this is too difficult for you, just leave it out or just try and hold the balance without doing the heel lifts. You can always try again in a few days. With practice, it gets easier. Of course it does, doesn't everything? Bring it down. Give the legs a little shake. So just bringing ourselves down to the floor. Position your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. So knees a hip width apart. Roll the shoulders away from your ears so your back's nice and flat. Back of head in line with your spine, tummy pulled in, and again we're focusing on keeping the pelvis stable. So it's opposite arm to leg. Sliding and lifting and holding. Making sure you're not leaning, be completely centered. Keep those shoulders away from your ears. Squeeze your bum on the lifted leg and breathe. Let's bring it down. Change sides. So extend that leg, tummy in, hips are level, no leaning, shoulders aren't shrugged. Breathe. And bring it down carefully. We'll do it one more time, but this time we're going to add even more difficulty, but of course it's optional. Can you lift your foot? Keep your knee down, but just lift your foot off the floor. That's hard, isn't it? It shoots your body weight forward, so you have to be ready, you have to be prepared. Keep the breath flowing, don't hold your breath. Make sure you're balanced and then lift the foot. Whoa. Keep breathing, keep that pelvis stable, and when you're ready, just bring it down. Again, don't worry if you can't do that. And give the wrists a bit of a rotation. Bring the legs either side, just stretching into your inner thighs. Try and lead with your chest, keeping your shoulders back, keep your knees soft. Just feel that nice stretch here. Tummy in to bring you back up. Let's just stretch into the thighs. So coming onto one side, holding my foot towards my bottom, pushing my hip forwards. And changing sides. Just a little stretch after your little balance workout. Don't press into this wrist too much or shrug the shoulders. And then popping one foot on top and sliding the other leg up until you feel a stretch here, stretching into your outer thigh and your glutes. And again, not shrugging the shoulders or pressing too much into those hands. Tummy in, just relax the upper body. And then we'll change sides. So place the foot above your knee and just slide it up as much as you can, within reason, so that it feels a nice stretch in your abductor muscle and around your glutes. Breathe. And I think you're ready. Well done.